Alrighty, here we go. This is a little bit crazy today. So I go live via Zoom and stream to either YouTube or Facebook. And today it's green for whatever reason. So we're going to just jump in and figure out what we're doing. So happy Tuesday. My name is Wendy Lee from CreativeLeeYours.com. And I am an independent demonstrator here in the US and very excited that you're joining me today. And of course, your patience for dealing with my crazy technical difficulties. I don't even know why it is doing what it's doing. So it is what it is. So I'm not going to show my face today. You can see my picture up on the screen as we go. That's about all I can offer. So I'm waiting to see that this comes up properly. I'm kind of surprised it hasn't. And maybe I'm just going to have some issues today. I don't know. Let's see if it'll come up with the delay. So, hey, Susan. Hey, Kay. Hey, Jean. Kay, I owe you an answer. I just haven't had time to go look yet and respond back to you. So, I have a sick 5-year-old today, so I could get busted in on it any moment, but hopefully not. But we're feeling a little puny today, so I've got a sick one home, so we'll make do the best that we can. Wow, there's a huge delay. So I don't know if you guys are seeing that on your end or not. If you are, let me know. And maybe we just kill it and start over. I'm going to restart my computer after this, but I'm going to try to go ahead and jump in and see how it's going. Okay, so we are featuring the Rings of Love Designer Series paper, which is part of the free offering during our celebration promotion. So this is one of the items that you can get with a $50 purchase in the US. And this has really got some great prints in it. So if you haven't checked this out, it's definitely one to check out. And it coordinates beautifully with this Tree Rings hybrid embossing folder. So this is a hybrid because it comes with both the dies and the 3D embossing folder. You can use the dies individually, the folder individually, or you can combine them and use them together. Yes. Oh, good. So you guys are seeing the picture of the DSP, but it looks like there is still quite the delay. So just kind of keep me up to date. And if we've got to stop, I can definitely stop. So I'm going to go ahead and pull in the project that I'm going to be making today with you, which is this one here. See if I can zoom in just a smidge. Make that a little bit bigger for you guys. And we'll go from there. So it looks like on my end, when I look at it on my one screen, it looks good. If I'm looking at it on YouTube, it's super delayed, way more than normal. So we'll see how this all plays out. So we are going to make this fun little collage card, and hopefully you can see here, there's some really great depth in these little tree rings. And I'm going to show you how I achieved that. You may already know this, but it's always fun to bring it back to light. So at the end of the video, I will go in and put the complete supply list links so that you can just click on anything you need to add to your shopping cart and go and make your purchase. And then I will also have all the cut dimensions so that you can recreate this project on your own. There will be a little delay in me getting that done because, as I mentioned, I have a 5-year-old sick at home. So I will... it might take me a little bit. I'm not as prepared as I would like to be. So, all right, let's start with our card base. So we've got 5.5 by 8.5 crumb cake. I might need to zoom back down so that you guys can see what I'm doing. All right, we're going to fold this in half. Just a regular standard card. Good. It looks good on your all's end. Okay, hopefully. So I didn't know if my voice was matching, the timing of my voice was matching with what you could see or not. It's just so weird on my end, and I've never had it do this before, not like this. So, all right, I'm bringing in a scrap piece of paper and my crumb cake ink pad, and I'm going to add a little splatter. I should show you. I am pulling in. Where did I put it? I hid it I've totally hidden it from myself. All right. What did you do with it? There it is. I left it on the other side of the room. I am going to be pulling in the Season of Chic stamp set. We used this last week, but I wanted to pull in these sentiments. I love the fonts here. I love the size of the sentiments. So I'm pulling this in, even though this is not the necessarily recommended stamp set to use with this. I'm going to use it anyway, right? We can do that. That's one of the things we love about our Stampin' Up! Products. So I'm just stamping a little bit of this splatter, and I'm going to do Crumb Cake on Crumb Cake. Now, I think my original sample, I might have used soft suede, but it felt a little dark to me this morning, so I didn't go there. So I'm going to repeat this on the inside as well. We'll just go ahead and do all this stamping at the same time. Why not, right? So you're gonna put a little splatter down here. All right, I'm gonna stop there and not go too terribly crazy. Okay, good. So the sound and video seems to work for you guys. I'll just have to adjust to the lag that I see. But no worries there. We'll get it all worked out. Okay, so the next thing I want to do is I've got a strip of 5.5 by, I believe this is 2.5, soft suede, and I'm going to just tear it. So let's just tear off some. I think it adds a really nice, texture when we do this. And I like it to be uneven and see in all those fibers. So if you tear up towards you, you get to see all these great fibers. And I'm just going to kind of play with it and kind of rough up that edge a little bit. I'm going to do that on both sides. Excuse me. I curl it a little bit, kind of fun and rustic, right? And so I'm going to go ahead and lay this right down on my card base. We're just going to do it flat. We'll stamp and seal. We'll get that down. Perfect. So yeah, so I have a purple shirt on. No, you guys don't care what I look like, really. I'm being silly. All right, so I'm going to pull in a piece of this designer series paper. So this is 4 inches by 3 inches, and I've chosen a different print, right? So we could change this up. We could use this side. There's lots of great prints in this paper pack. I think I'm going to go with the plaid and use it like that. And I'm going to pop this up with dimensionals. I rarely pop designer paper up because it's thinner and it just feels not as substantial. But for this particular card, my piece is not very large that I'm using. And I feel like it works okay for this particular project. So you have to be the judge on what you want popped up and what you don't want pop up. So I'm going to have several projects that I'm going to share over on my Instagram. I don't know if you guys follow me on Instagram as well. And I will try to make some shorts to share here on YouTube as well. So you can catch the projects either place. I'm going to do a few little tutorials this week. All right, next, I want to show you guys how to make these super cool rings, these log rings. So let's pull in our Stamp and Die, not Stamp and Die, our die and embossing folder. You can totally place the die right into the embossing folder. Of course, you want to put your cardstock down first. Put your die on top and you get it fit into the negative space of the folder. So it fits in really nicely. And then you would just close it and run it through. Now, I'm going to add ink to what I'm doing. So I am not going to run them through at the same time. So what I've already done is I have 3 pieces. So I cut out these 3 on this side. So let's move these dies out of the way so we're not confusing, or we try not to be confusing, right? So I cut out this one, and this one, right? So I cut those out separately from the die. And it's only because I'm adding ink into this. If I wasn't adding ink, I wouldn't do that. But because I am adding ink to my folder to kind of add a little more depth to the texture, I didn't want to put them both through at the same time. Now, when you're cutting out these little things, I don't know if you've used this folder yet, but it's really nice because you can put the, negative or the back side right up and it fits really, really nice. You can see it super, super easy. And then you can just, close the folder. Well, I'm finding that I like a little adhesive on these. So I'm going to flip these over and I'm going to do my friend Melissa Kerman's trick that she does. She's on the Maker's Mojo team. I'm going to add a little bit of liquid glue. That might be a lot. And I'm going to set this aside to dry. Now I've got another set that I've got that are dry, but I would take this and let this dry probably a good 5 minutes. I'm not all that patient, but you can see here I've got 3, and maybe you can see that where that glue is shiny. So it dries tacky is what happens. So now what I can do is I can lay this right into this embossing folder. Wrong side. I want to do it on this side actually. Okay, because I want the texture that I'm wanting to do, I want on the other side. I've got this upside down. All right, so I'm lining my shape up and I'm just going to give it a little push in the middle. Now, you could use Stampin' Seal and do the same thing if you didn't want the drying time of the glue. I don't like to use sticky stuff in my folders and dies personally. I don't like washi tape because it leaves a residue. Yes, you can clean it off, but I'm lazy, right? I don't want to have to mess with it. All right, so that's tacked in place. Now I want to add ink to this side of the folder. So let me bring that scrap paper back in just so I don't make a big mess, and this will make it easier for you guys to see. Now I'm using soft suede ink, and I'm literally just going to lightly tap my ink pad onto the embossing folder. And what it's doing is it's putting ink on those raised lines. Okay. Now I might use the embossing folder the opposite direction if I wasn't adding the ink, because then I would want my raised lines coming up. But because I'm adding the ink and I don't want these to shift, I'm doing it this way. Now I'm going to go run this through my Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. And when it comes out, I've got these fabulous inked up. So it put the texture in and it pressed that ink right down into there. Isn't that cool? I think it looks really neat. So I'm going to flip it over so you can see. So normally I would probably put this side up because I get that really nice raised edge. But because, again, I wanted that inky depth, I've used the back side of it. I hope this all makes sense. Have you guys done this? I love doing this. It's a little messy, but you can totally just run your folder under some water and be good to go. All right, so let's go ahead and add these elements to our super cute card here. And I've got a little sticky that's on the back that's dried or tacky. I'm gonna go a little deeper with this glue because I don't want this falling off. So I'm just gonna add a little tree ring here. Okay, giving that a little bit of a push. I think this one I'm gonna pop up with dimensionals. Let's go ahead and do that. But if you haven't tried this Stampin' Die hybrid embossing folder, it's really nice. Really, really nice. Let's go about there. I'm eyeballing this. You know, there's not a right or wrong. And let's pop this one up too. Why not, right? Might as well. Give it the extra height. Now, if you don't want that, you don't have to do yours that way. You do what makes you happy. And I'm going to kind of move this one over just a bit. All right, now let's get our banner going. So I've die cut a piece of basic white with this largest banner from my favorite Stylish Shapes dies. Yay, we love the Stylish Shapes dies. At least I do. I hope you guys do as well. If you don't have them yet, I highly recommend adding them. All right, we're going to bring in our foam pad and my Night of Navy ink pad. You could use really any color with this, but I thought the navy mixed with the brown was a really nice combo. Oh, good. You guys are liking it? All right. So we're going to stamp this first because I want to make sure I've got enough room. And I want to kind of get it over to the left if I can. I can't really see when I'm on camera to see that I'm over to the left or not, but we're going to say that I am. Right? Oh, the craziness. All right. Now, I want this to sit so that I cut off this other side of the banner. So I am going to just kind of eyeball this, looking kind of where it's sitting. I'm going to put a couple of dimensionals right here for my banner. So I know that that'll be nice and stable. Now I popped up this edge. So if I want to stabilize my banner over here, I need to double stack them. Does that make sense to you guys? So let's go ahead and just do 2 right next to each other, top and bottom. I'm going to peel off the backing paper because that's important. When you're going to stack them, you definitely want to peel off the paper in between because they will come apart if you don't, or at least I've had that happen. Maybe they don't always do it, but boy, have I had it happen. Okay, so we're going to lay this down and I'm going to slide that banner to the left. Just give that a light push, and then I'm going to open my card and I'm just going to clip away this edge. Now, could I have cut that with my trimmer first? Sure. Could have totally cut it with the trimmer first, but I think this is just as easy. And then I didn't have to pull out the trimmer and try to hold on to a little piece. Cute, right? I think this is a great masculine card. You could stop here, but why? Why do we want to stop here? We don't. We're going to pull back in these dies and use a couple of these other elements. So I've used a lot of these little spriggy elements, but I wanted to use this little top here and these little stems here. So these could be little gumdrops. This could be the bottom of an acorn, super cute, but it was too brown for me. So I wanted to pull in a little bit of color. So I pulled in this crushed curry and poppy parade that I cut out of this one. Okay. And then I cut out the little stems here with this one here, and it cut out both at the same time, which is awesome. And that's in soft suede. So a little scrap of paper you can pull out of your drawer and use to set these little mushrooms. I'm using them as mushrooms, right? All right, so I'm going to place these down. I kind of want them popped up. Should we pop them up? Let's see. I've got some edges. That might be excessive. Maybe I'll do them flat. Let's do them flat. I could pop them up though. They would be fun. All right, I won't be so excessive. We're just going to use a little liquid glue. Brown on brown doesn't work well, does it? And we'll place one little mushroom stem. And I'll just give that a hold for a moment. And then we'll give this one as well. Get our second little mushroom stem in there. So cute. Love it, love it, love it. All right, I am popping up these mushrooms though. I think they're too cute not to. Let's see. How am I cutting the elements? Oh, you're loving how I cut up the elements to meet the needs. Yes, awesome. Good. Yeah, you just change it up to what look you're going for. You know, we can use our shapes. We don't have to necessarily use our shapes the way they're intended, right? Somehow I got crazy dimensionals on me. And good. Cutting off the banner. Yeah, so simple and easy. You don't know until you try. And what happens, or what happens to me often, is that it's an accident, right? It's not always intentional. You guys might think we plan a lot of this out, and maybe some do. I am not as planned out as you might think I am. What set is the thanks from? Let me pull that back in. The Season of Chic. So I've got my thanks, and then we're going to be using the You Are Amazing Beyond Measure on the inside, and then we've used this splatter here. Now, this is a really nice splatter as well. It's just a little bit more intense, and I wanted something a little looser, right? So, you know, you could totally pull in, you know, we did our card last week with this set, and we used these fall leaves. So you could totally pull in the fall leaves and coordinate with what we've got going on here if you wanted to do that. I just love all the different seasons that are in this particular stamp set. And this is in our annual catalog. All right, so super cute right there. Let's add a little bit of linen thread. I love linen thread. It adds such a nice appearance, and we'll put a little bow on there. So I'm going to pull off 2 links about, I don't know, 9-ish inches. That's maybe a little extra longer than I need. We're going to eyeball this. 8-9 inches or so is usually what I like to pull off when I'm tying a ribbon, unless I'm going really long on the ribbon. And sometimes I do. So we're going to go ahead. I've got both my strings together, and we're just going to, See if we can get on video so you can see me. I'm gonna give my 2 loops with my fingers here. I'm gonna crisscross. Let's see if I can get up high so you guys can see me. And I'm just gonna pull that. And that gives me my bow. Now, if you're not happy with your bow, hold the knot in the center, pull the ends, hold and pull. The reason we hold that is so it doesn't get too loose, right? And then we can pull this out and kind of play with it until we're happy with how this bow looks. You can clip away any excess that you want to clip away. I kind of like it loose like that. And then I'm going to put it in the divot of this little banner. You could put it under, actually, let's change this one. Let's put this one underneath down here. So I put the original kind of in that little divot, but let's slide this one down a little bit and put it underneath here. I kind of like that as well. So you just play with it until you like the look of it. Pull in a little glue dot here. Oh, I don't like touching those. Who else thinks those feel like boogers? Yeah, I know that's gross. Okay, so cute. I love it. Love it, love it, love it, love it. Perfect. All right, so let's do the inside of the card. Isn't it amazing how you change that print of the designer paper and it really does give you a different look? Do you guys have a preference of which one you like better? You like the little wood trees in the background, or you like the plaid? I bet it would look fabulous with any of the prints. Okay, we're going to work on the inside. So I brought the design to the inside. You guys know I like to do that. I think it adds a really special touch when you do that. So we're going to stamp our sentiment, layer it, and just adhere that to our card base. Now, we could have changed the color up a little bit on the inside as far as stamping our sentiment, but I'm going to leave it in navy. It might have looked really nice in soft suede as well, just to kind of give another color on the inside, or maybe even bringing in that curry or that Poppy Parade would have been nice as well. So it really depends on the look you're going for. Play with it, right? Stamp it. I like to stamp on scrap paper when I'm choosing my colors. And, you know, we could stamp it in the middle. I'm going to actually stamp this one down low. I like changing that up a little bit. It's not as expected. But yeah, I will get out a piece of scrap paper and I will stamp the sentiment in multiple colors and kind of hold it up on my card and see which one makes the most sense. And sometimes I pick and then I change it again later, but sometimes you just need to see how it's going to look without, and I don't like to waste my cardstock. Although I have plenty of scraps I could use. Sometimes you do have to stamp it on the cardstock because, you know, the white is so much better in person than it is. Look, I almost lost all my splatter. Before we glue that down, let's stamp one down low. I don't want to lose it all. I thought it was stamping nice and low, but I obviously did not. Let's see if we can overlap a little, knowing that we're not going to see most of that anyway. This will make me happier. Just that little touch of splatter. Yep, much better. Just that little texture is nice, right? You see it? Just that little bit. We've got a little peeking out here. Got a little peeking out there. So fun, right? Cool? Like it? Yeah, Poppy Parade would be a really nice pop on the inside, especially with this plaid. On this one, it really, granted, it still would look good here. I've kept this all the blue, or I could have changed this layer maybe to Poppy. That would have been nice as well if I wanted to keep all my sentiments in one color. But yeah, play with it. It gives you a different look and feel. There's no right and wrong to it, right? So you guys know, or at least I think you know, that I have registration going on right now for our textured chic card class. Registration ends on Friday though, so it's going to be over in just a few days. I'll flip you the cards real quick so you can see them. So this is the Makers Mojo team got together. So Makers Mojo, if you're not familiar, we do an online creative escape every quarter. So our next one is in October, and early bird registration is going on now. If you've not registered, I think it launched today actually. But we teamed up and we are offering a card class to go. It's a 5-card class. So let me just flip these to you real quick. So these are all featuring the Season of Chic bundle. I love, love, love that it's got all the different seasons in there, and the cards are fantastic. You're gonna love them. So we do have a full kit to go option that you can purchase, or you can do just the tutorial, especially if you're outside of the US. You might not be able to partake in my classes where it's the full kit to go. So, you know, we want to give you options to choose from. So I hope that you guys love that. But again, be sure to check out my Instagram. And again, I'll try to do some shorts on YouTube with them as well. But I'm going to show at least 3 more projects this week. And I'll do little quick tutorials with some additional things that you can do with this lovely Rings of Love Designer Series paper. So if you've not gotten this free with your celebration purchase yet, do it before it's gone, because you guys know all of this stuff is available while supplies last only, right? And we've had some things sell out. Stampin' Up! Did add last week 10 additional choices. So if you've not seen that, I do have that on my celebration page on my website. Again, the last thing I wanted to remind you of is we have to the end of the month to qualify for my celebration event that happens September 17th. I do this every celebration, or have for a few years now. And basically you get a free card class as a thank you from me. And we get together, we craft together via Zoom. Of course, you don't have to join us via Zoom. You still get your kits in the mail. But it's just a fun little thank you get together. So, and we are featuring products from the Harvest. I'm going to say it wrong. I say it wrong every time. I'm going to open the catalog to the page. Rustic Harvest Suite. So let me flip it to that so you guys can see. I would show you sneak of the cards, but I'm not going to. I don't want to spoil the surprise. So we are featuring this product suite here in our projects that we are making for that event. So fun, four cards we'll be making, but the tutorial will have 5, because I always put a card in the packets and I make sure they have the tutorial for that as well. So, all right, thank you all for joining me today. I hope you have a wonderful week. And if I didn't say it when I first started because I was flustered because my screen was literally green, happy Tuesday. Yes. All right. Yes, I hope little one feels better as well. I'm not sure what's going on with her. She had a little fever last night, came home with her tummy sore. Today her eyes got a little discharge. So we'll see. We're napping, we're resting, trying to get her to drink more fluids, right? Ugh, crazy. Hate for her to be sick, but we'll get her all better. Thank you guys so much for joining me. If you're enjoying the crafty videos, please be sure to share these with your friends. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel. And of course, I appreciate you all for being here, whether you're watching me live or on the replay. All right. Thank you so much. Bye for now.